Hey, we're Saints. Father Chris here. Welcome to our Crucifixion live stream. Glad to have you beautiful people with us. We took a couple of days off to gather our thoughts and, just to catch up on all things here. We're back today, even at the end of the week. And I was thinking a lot about what am I going to share with my warrior saints? I mean, what could I say today? And one of the things that I was reflecting on, I'm reading a new book and it's excellent and it really triggered a lot of thought. It made me think about the early years in my priesthood. And as a young man, I was very young when I first became a priest and then when I was assigned to the parish I served. And I didn't really know everything to do and what to do, how to do it. And in conversations with people, sometimes when they would be difficult conversations, in the sense that my duty was to tell them how they had gone off the proper path, I felt like I was being a little bit too nice. Like I didn't want to ruffle feathers. I didn't like conflict. Nobody really likes conflict. I still don't like it, but I wasn't always honest with them. Certainly not radically honest. Sometimes I even found myself saying things that I didn't necessarily think were in their best interest because I didn't want to hurt, offend, whatever. I had to be nice. And as I have aged in my last many years and learned more and read more, I've realized that being nice is not necessarily a good thing. Now, I don't mean that we need to be disrespectful or rude or rotten. We should always be genteel. We should always be kind. But I'm defining nice as adhering to the rules that others have set, adhering to the standards, the models of how we're supposed to behave, in accordance with things of, school and teachers and parents and, traditions and all this kind of stuff. And it's at the cost, it comes at the cost of what I call radical honesty or radical candor, where we don't tell people what they need to hear because we don't want to offend or upset or get into a fight. And this to me is tragic. I know that it's something I've done myself over the years. I'm sure it's something you experience in your own life. God, however, does not want this from us. I was doing a lot of research on honesty and truth throughout Scripture, and this beautiful verse from Proverbs chapter 12. It's chapter 12, verse 22. Lying lips are an abomination to the Lord, but those who act faithfully are his delight. Now, the text in Proverbs is speaking just flat out about like a lie where you might say, something is black when it is white or something is left when it is right, this kind of stuff. And it's specific to, straight out lies. But I think sometimes we also have to be cautious of the lies that we tell other people when we are nice and not radically honest. Now, it's important that I preface all this. Don't be a jerk, right? I've noticed too, as I've become older and become more radically, candorous and more radically honest with people, that it can be done with a smile, with a little laugh, or to quote Harry Connick Jr., a wink and a smile. People tend to feel are more receptive to straightforward, honest, hard conversations when it is done in love, and smiles and laughter help know that there is love, that there is care for the person. So as I thought about all this kind of stuff, I've decided, I've tried to do this myself in the last few years of my life, but I've decided to going forward, I'm going to be radically honest. Hopefully I will never hurt or be harmful or be a jerk or, offend people, or at least not for the sake of offense. But if I love you, I'm honest, right? Our Warrior Saints team was at lunch yesterday and we were having a conversation. And Deacon Greg said something that really stuck in my head. He's like, hey, I feel like if I'm just being nice to people, it's because I don't really care about them, right? Now, certainly we care about people, but what he was saying was powerful because, like, if I really care about you, I'm going to be straight. Think about your children, the way you talk to them. I mean, sometimes as parents, if for those who have kids, as parents, we have to say hard things to our children, right? Like, I mean, sometimes it's tough when we got to set them straight because we want them to not be good people, but become great people, to be exceptional, to become warrior saints. So you've got to tell them the hard things. If you love them, you do that in spite of how it may make them feel, at least in that brief moment. And so for you, my warrior saints, as you go forward in your own lives, I want you to think about, are you radically honest? Or do you spend so much of your time stuck in the roles that these outside influences tell you how to behave, right? Or are you radically honest? My hope is that as I do it, I hope you do it. I know Deacon Greg does it very well. I'm way better than me. We're just, look, we love you enough to tell you straight. It may upset you. It may not, feel good, but it is something that is done for your benefit and well-being. I don't know. I just had those thoughts, thought I would share them. We will be back on Sunday with Orthros and Liturgy at 9 and 10 Mountain Time, respectively. And as always, next week we will resume with full-fledged live streams. Have a great weekend. Be safe. Be radically honest. And as always, keep walking on the way of the warrior saint.